In this tutorial, we will learn how to create projections. All right, so let's get started. So I'll drag the image here. Now we need to match our camera with this image to find the place and angle from which this photo was taken. Click Match Camera. Using Camera Tool, I'll try to match helper grid lines with the lines on the image. Like this. Okay, cool. Select our image and camera and click Create Projection. So here we have a pop-up window where we can type in the name. Plugin asks us how many projection copies we should create. Now we can stop a while and just think about what projection actually is. Projection is the display of an image on a distant plane or other surface. This is the simplest single layer projection. If you have some kind of environment on your image, there are no objects in the foreground and one object doesn't overlap the other, then you only need one projection copy. If your image has a front object like here in this image, then it's already a two-layer projection, so you will need two projection copies. That's because the front object covers part of the environment behind it, and also part of the table. Now let's move on to another example. Look, there are several balloons in this picture. But this doesn't mean we need the same number of projection copies. These balloons don't overlap, so we only need to restore a chunk of the environment behind them. Let's take a look at another example. As you can see, now the front object covers not only part of the environment, but also part of another object. It's already a three-layer projection, and we'll need three projection copies. Looks like we need to get back not only a chunk of the environment, but also a part of another object. See? This balloon covers some area behind it. And to be able to restore what we can't see in the picture, we need another projection scene, because we can't do it with a single projection copy. So depending on how many objects cover one another in the image, we will decide how many projection copies we'll need. So let's go back to our scene. Select our image and camera and click Create Projection. We'll give it a name. So since we only have an environment, we only need one copy. So I'll choose one. And the plugin tells us that it's been created. Great. Now we have a projector with an image inserted in it. But why do we see black screen? Because as I already mentioned, projection is a kind of light displayed on a distant surface. And where is that distant surface? Well, we haven't created it yet. And since there is no surface, the light is just kind of lost in space out there. So let's go ahead and create a surface. I'll double click this scene. And now we need to create one surface for the field and another one for the background. Here we have Create Surface using Helper Grid Properties feature. We'll use the bottom side for the field and the back side for the background. I'll disable the left side because we only need the floor and the back. And click OK. Great. Now look, plugin created two planes and put them where the grid was. Let's go back to the main comp and see. Yes, we can already see the projection. Now we only need to stretch the back plane. Because as you can see, the surface doesn't cover the entire image. So I'll go back to projection scene, click here and drag. Let's see again. Great. Let's now use our camera tool and try to move it in the scene. As you can see, it's no longer an image, but a 3D scene. So let's see how it works. I'll switch over to custom view. Look, the projector is right here at the point from which the photo was taken. And we've created the real position of the field and also the background. So we are basically recreating the original three-dimensional view of our landscape, and the light from the projector goes not just on some flat surface, but on a 3D surface rather. And the result of that is a 3D scene. You do not need to create 3D with extra high accuracy. You only need to work with those objects that are bent when it moves. Well, that's it. Hopefully now you have better understanding of what projection is and how to create it.